IVM.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week on the IVM Podcast Network. As I mentioned last week, we're going through this COVID-19 outbreak, and because of that recording schedules, we're trying to keep them, but it's a little uneven at this point in time. Beg your indulgence. While you are stuck at home, I think one thing that might be interesting to do is maybe check out some of the complete series that we've done. The Gulaba Cartel, Woody Woodpecker, Cricketwala Chronicles. These are limited series that are complete. Might be a good time to check out those. Also want to thank our sponsors this week, HDFC Life and Paytm Money. And with that, let me get you onto your show and stay safe, everyone.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative.
All right, it's called Virus Says. We're changing it from Cyrus Says because, as you know, we are engulfed by this terrible thing called, I forget the name of the virus, and it's really painful and terrible, and we're stuck at home and upset. What's really upsetting is the WhatsApp groups in the buildings. All around, every building has their smart aleck WhatsApp groups, and everybody is an expert on the bloody disease in that WhatsApp. Every day, in fact, I woke up with 182 messages on WhatsApp, most of them from this bloody building group and other building groups. It's just ridiculous. Firstly, why am I another building group? That's another story. See, when you like the wives of other people and you try and interact with them, sooner or later you get into their lives and it's beyond the capacity of a normal person to understand. So let's not go there. But let's talk about how painful these WhatsApp groups are and to stop sending information, their doom and gloom and sad predictions and forwarding messages will make no sense. I prefer the old days when they would send cats making sounds or dogs barking or a man falling into a pool. What happened to our lives? It's called Cyrus Says.
Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta. I'm B50 on Twitter. I am the host of Paisa Paisa, the show that talks money. On my show, I speak to experts from every field of money and finance, from stock markets, equities, debt funds, credit cards, life insurance, every possible area of money and finance that you can think of. We even did an episode on cryptocurrency. I've got fantastic guests from mutual funds to personal finance experts everywhere. Robo-advisory, startups, just name it, we've got it. At Paisa Paisa, we help you make smart decisions about money. You work hard for money. Now make your money work hard for you. New episodes out every Monday, and you can listen to my show on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you have.
All right. First, let me apologize for this show. Normally, we apologize for the quality of the show. But folks, we're recording from using this Zoom technology which my grandfather Sorab invented. We are basically just working from different areas. One is Silverie is in Powai, our producer. And yes. Amit is half a kilometer away from me, actually, but still far away, not our normal studio. And like I said, so we're apologizing only for the technology here, not the quality of the program that we usually do.
Well, the quality of the program, I hope, does not suffer. But yeah, I'm sure the recording quality definitely does.
Yeah, so I don't know, Amit, you're the tech expert. I'm thinking it's not going to sound as broadcast quality as it normally is.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. We're all sitting in rooms which are not soundproofed. We're all sitting and working on our computers or our phones. It is going to be somewhat challenging.
There's a glitch in the technology if there's any problem with audio, and that's basically a virus. Oh, no pun intended.
No,
but let's
not be talking about viruses.
Yeah, in fact, is there a topic we can talk about?
Other than viruses?
No.
Well,
yeah. Let's go.
Is there, Antariksh, you got anything for us which is not virus related?
Is it about hair?
Yeah, I do.
At a time like this? Go on.
I got some good news, but it's still virus related only. That's what it is. Everything is virus related. Sadly.
That was a false dawn. All right, go on. What is your good news?
Okay. If you want, let's just get into the news. Because there's so much bad news outside, we thought we'd just make an episode where we'll concentrate on the good news that is coming out during these times of the COVID-19. And I start with something really funny. I found this hilarious.
Yeah.
Two men from Ambala told their wives that they had to go to Bengaluru for a business trip, and instead they went to Bangkok. And they came back. How their wives found out is the police had to come to their house with their travel records and quarantine them, like forcibly quarantine them, saying, okay, you guys just went to Bangkok.
Very nice. It's a good story.
Is this not
I love this story.
But is this not like the ultimate nightmare for somebody who's taking this kind of a trip?
But
yeah, that's exactly it.
It's spiral. It completely spiral. Worse. Not to mention what's waiting for them after quarantine. But this is a bit like Marquez's book. sex in the time of cholera, let's call it. Because this is sex in the time of this terrible bimari. But imagine that, how your neighbors will look at you. While the whole world is suffering, you went off to Bangkok, malish ke liye. I think it's a beautiful story. I like this movie. Congratulations. You made me happy.
Also, these guys thought that, hey, I don't want to catch the coronavirus in India. I'd rather catch it in Bangkok. Because they also have an outbreak. It's the same there. I don't know why they would go.
So when did they go, though? When did they go? Do we know that? I thought they came back like 15, 20 days ago.
The epidemic had hit. And
it doesn't say when they went.
Okay.
But they went within this outbreak only. Within the span of this outbreak.
Oh, okay.
Amit,
they went and they came back.
You want me to find out their travel details of their travel agent, do a full research investigation? It's going to take time. I'm stuck in my house. There's not much I can do. I'm learning how to make toast. Apparently, you put the bread inside the toaster and you press this button down and boom, after a minute it pops out.
Not on top of the toaster?
So
it jumped up on its own and fell on the floor. I of course ate it. Where I come from, nobody wastes food. But yeah, I'm 48 years old and every month I have to color my hair. Okay, which is now grey. So I'm told. And now there's nobody to color the hair. Because there's a lady who comes and does it. And my wife says, no way. So I'm going to look like an old man, but then sober. I'm going to be his grandfather in one of those Ekta Kapoor serials. Dadaji aa gaya. It's going to be one of those.
I'll send you a video of one of those Italian mayors. Have you seen these Italian mayor videos? So so basically, various mayors from northern Italy have just been going nuts. They've been putting out these YouTube videos telling people that if you assemble, I'll take a flamethrower to you, or they're just going nuts. So one guy was talking about this, the door-to-door hair cutters, and the reason why they need to stop. And it was just really funny. I'll send that to you.
Okay, what second topic do we have, which is less coronavirus related? I believe that nothing is not related, so less.
That is
okay. We are seeing in various cities across the world, we are seeing flora and fauna thriving in very cool ways. Like dolphins are coming back to Marine Drive, and swans are showing up in Venice, in the canals of Venice again. So what do you guys think?
And the Sharmas can be seen on their balcony opposite my balcony. And I say, Mr. Sharma is resplendent. It's the mating season, March, April for our people. So that's great. But I hear you. I get your point. I see my kites in the morning. I don't know if I've told you this story before, but let me tell you my agenda. It's scary. It's almost like a yogi. Yeah. I get up at 5. I walk the dogs first early so that there's nobody around and no problem and they can have some time down. Then I come up and I try to work out with 2 very small dumbbells who are no relatives of mine but look like that. And before that, I just look out of the window and I communicate with the kites. And there's a whole family of kites and they're beautiful birds, really majestic, muscular, good looking. Yeah. And then I whistle to them and they've started humming back to me. They have a very shrill whistle. I'll try and do it at some point. Yeah. I'll wet my lips, which will take time in this program. Unless Aisha gives me a kiss, my wife, which she said no and walked off. So there were many more birds around in Malba Hill where we used to have a lot of trees and stuff. Amit, you remember growing up, there was more greenery. And there were definitely sparrows and all this, which have sort of returned now.
So sparrows have been coming back for the last year, right? I mean, I think that's something that's been kind of interesting.
The government has given them incentives. There's a package for sparrows in place, Everything is there. So pigeons, for example, pigeons have been given proper housing societies. Yeah.
Well, they do that in my housing society for sure, right? So, one of the...
Hey, I'm pro-pigeon. Watch it. I'm pro-pigeon. My wife hates the pigeons. I'm pro-pigeon. I don't mind them feeding the pigeons. I will never stop people feeding animals.
Well, no, I'm not going to stop people. I'm not going to stop people from feeding the pigeons either, but the thing is that we don't have the same facilities we used to have 2 weeks ago. Okay, so there are not as many people, so we don't have people to clean our building compounds. We don't have stuff like that, right? So it is, when people continue to feed animals in that kind of situation, that's problematic.
Hey guys, you just think about that for a second. We'll come back to because your issue is a civic issue, my issue is a moral issue. So there are 2 issues which are actually not the same. Your thing is practical, logistical, like my wife and Kunal, who all say don't feed the pigeons and all that. But mine is a moral thing. Animals have to be fed.
We have an area in our building to feed the pigeons. You want to go and feed the pigeons, go to the terrace and feed them.
Okay, fair enough, because they are closer to the terrace from where they live.
Well, no,
okay,
it's just I get your point. It's just that basically when you don't want all the pigeon shit, and you don't want all the...
oh my God.
What do you call the things that you feed the pigeons, right? That
people are dying around the world. Leave the pigeon shit alone for a second.
Well, dude, pigeon shit is why people are dying around the world, or bat shit is the reason why people are dying around the world, right?
Listen, I'm a political science major. I don't know about pigeon shit. I didn't do the whole bio class thing. But I would like to mention there's a little thing we're forgetting called the mosquito.
Okay.
We're speaking of animals.
And the mosquito is very upset. Mosquitoes are just, because this coronavirus has taken away their lure. In the old days, malaria and dengue were the things that people feared. And if you saw a mosquito in the house, my family would be like, mosquito, and everybody would run and hide and all that. But the mosquito has no power now, and he's feeling terrible. He's complex because bloody corona's turned up.
Well, viruses are
almost like you get Sachin, now you're Virat. It's like that. Oh, nobody would ever compare either of them to these terrible things, but yeah. I apologize to both. So, I'm a big fan.
So I was
what about the Dolphins?
So Dolphins are back in Marine Drive, and a leopard was spotted somewhere in Kerala on the streets because people aren't there. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, how about
not leopards, but it's pretty cool to see dolphins.
But not a leopard in Malad, no, because that's a whole different story altogether.
Correct. Yeah, that's not.
Have you guys, speaking of animals and non-corona stories, I guess it's somewhat corona adjacent, but have you heard like the most popular show on Netflix right now is like this tiger show?
Tiger King.
Something. It's about like training tigers or some shit like that.
Tiger King. I've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Is it the most popular?
It's like the most popular show on Netflix right now. I've been hearing so much.
I've heard about it.
Everybody's talking.
I heard what's about. Yeah. Apparently, it's about some guy who was a certified tiger trainer, like the biggest tiger whisperer, as so to say. And but he was also a killer for hire, and he got sentenced to that's what it was.
It's about that.
Killer of what? Killer of tigers?
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Killer of men?
No, he was a killer
of men or tigers?
Killer for hire.
Is it like
men?
But killer of men, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But he was killing human beings.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the crime? Yeah, I thought he was killing tigers.
Oh, no crime in killing human beings, but now all of a sudden I'm really interested in that show.
Hey, watch your mouth, boy.
What? It sounds fun.
Terrible times.
Now it actually sounds fun. It sounds like it would be something really interesting to watch. I think now.
But it sounds like Barry. Barry is also a contract killer. The guy from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, right. Bill Hader.
Who wants to be an actor? Bill Hayden. Hader. Yeah. So it sounds exactly like that. Similar story.
But this is based on
there are only 7 stories in the world.
But this is a documentary, isn't it?
Which one is it?
This Tiger Killer.
Yeah, it's a docu-series. It's a docu-series, yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's so weird, right? This person actually...
Now that you guys have brought it up, can we quickly go through what you all are watching, since that's the only thing we can do?
That is a fair
I have gotten into something really cool. Where me and my friends will... there's an app called Netflix Party, where you can watch the same Netflix video with your friends online at the same time, sync together.
Hey, that's interesting.
And,
how do they sync that?
That's great.
So basically, you just it's a Chrome extension, a Google Chrome extension. You download the app onto your Google Chrome, and then you can view it.
And it plays at the exact same time for everyone.
Exact same time, yeah. And if one person rewinds, then it rewinds for everyone. So you can skip to time tracks if you want. It's pretty cool. And there's a text chat on the side, and if you guys like something interesting is going on in the movie, you can discuss it oh my god, these guys are gonna die or whatever.
But can you share the popcorn as well? But that's not possible, right?
No, that's not possible.
You can't just press a button and popcorn hits. Hey, Jagdish, catch! That won't happen, right?
Yeah,
but this is good. This is sort of socializing under pressure, which technology is allowing. I think that's something like what we're doing right now. I get the best part of my day. I'm getting to talk to people outside the house.
Yeah, no, but
even if it's only you two, don't mind.
That's fine.
I asked for Pamela Anderson, but apparently she's aged. Yeah.
Yeah, she? Okay. She's...
the other day I gave this reference just before this thing hit. I met somebody and I was talking, I think in the club the last day before they shut it. And I said, oh man, this girl looks like Pamela Anderson. And he actually said, who? He was like, he's 19. I was just thinking, 19 years. So in the last 20 years, you've never seen or heard of Pamela Anderson. I mean, how old am I?
By the time I was 19...
You're worried about the virus.
By the time I was 19, I had looked up Pamela Anderson about 100 times.
I'm sure you had.
That's my boy. Silverie, I'm so proud of you, mate. That's my boy. Well done.
Wow, that's kind of...
Have you seen her complete works?
all over.
Oh, watch it. Anyway, I think people are more upset now about the virus, so these small little crimes will get away with for now. Okay, now that we've exhausted animals, Pamela Anderson, and what are you watching, Amit? You haven't mentioned.
So a couple of different things, right? So there is a stupid Netflix car series, which I kind of enjoyed the first season of, so I'm watching the second season of that. It's called Car Masters Rust to Riches. It's basically these guys...
May I never be confined in a room with you, yeah?
Dude, it's actually fun, man. They buy these junker cars and then they turn them into awesome cars and sell them for lots of money. It's fun to watch.
I'm falling asleep.
So is it like Pimp My Ride?
My eyes are
It's like Pimp
Is it
My
like
Ride.
Pimp My Ride?
It's exactly like Pimp My Ride.
You two take over this show. I'll go and have a bath.
So I watched a little bit of that. I've been watching some of my normal standard, 40-minute crime shows. So I've been watching some of that. Saw a couple of movies too. I have one project which I'm going to kind of attempt this weekend. I want to watch every Fast and the Furious movie. I have only ever seen the first
all
one.
in one go.
Well,
okay.
as a marathon, I've only ever seen the first movie, and that I saw around the time it came out. Since then, I've never seen another Fast and the Furious movie. And
Okay, I would say you can actually
Paul guy
skip
die in the middle.
Yes.
From the Fast and Furious
Sorry.
movies, you can skip Tokyo Drift, and the rest you can watch if you want to watch the entire series.
No, I
The
do.
Tokyo Drift is actually a terrible movie.
If I'm going to do it, I should do it.
Why
all.
don't you watch what's the Indian version of it, no? What is that?
Doom.
Ajay Devgan films?
Doom. That's a good idea. Actually, that should be part 2.
Yeah,
That should be
Fast and Furious, Doom 1. Then Fast and Furious 2, Doom 2.
That should be part of what I do as well. I should do that. But I've also been watching a bunch of movies. I got a whole bunch of movies to watch recently. I saw. Have you seen? Dude, you probably like this. Did you see Yesterday? I think it's on Amazon Prime.
The Beatles one, no?
Well,
I'm going to.
It's about the guy who gets into
who
like
remembers the Beatles songs,
who remembers the Beatles songs that nobody else does. It's a fun movie. It's
I'm
quite
going
a fun
to watch
movie.
that. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, so that
One of the best Beatles documentaries I've seen is a documentary called 8 Days a Week. And it's about their touring years. The time they were, this is like the years that they were touring, and the Beatlemania was just crazy. And it's directed by Ron Howard, the
66.
director.
Yeah. Correct. You're right.
Yeah.
My God. So finally we find something we can all watch.
Well, the Beatles.
3 of us watching the Beatles
finally.
together.
Yeah, dude.
This is what life is all
Yeah,
about.
love the Beatles.
Yeah. Let me
I
bore you with
recently,
my-
for the first time in my life, saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the movie.
This is the
I
first time
loved
you
it.
ever
I
saw
love
it.
that movie.
At first, I've always wanted to watch it, but the first time I ever saw it, and I loved it. I love that movie now.
It's one of
I'm
those.
so happy.
It's a landmark film.
It is. Have you seen?
Absolutely.
You should see some of the other John. So the director of that movie, John Hughes, has just made some of the best movies ever. Right? He made The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles. He's really one of the best directors ever. You should definitely check out all of his stuff.
On par with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, how would Rohit Shetty? Who's his Indian version?
That is an
Because I always
interesting
watch the
question.
Indian version.
That is
If you
an
give me the
interesting
Indian version, I
question.
can watch. Otherwise, I can't watch. I need that connect. I need that analogy.
I would say that the Indian version of him is probably maybe somebody like Mansoor Khan, right? I mean, because he makes movies for a very teenage young audience.
Mansoor Khan.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Qayamat Se
I thought
Qayamat
he'd go
Tak,
some Karan
Josh.
Johar or something.
Well, dude, I know, I come from a particular time, and I know things from that time. I don't
Is Mansoor
think so-
Khan that Amir Khan's uncle as well?
cousin? He's cousin.
Cousin. Correct.
I don't know if it could be like a Farhan Akhtar kind of vibe. The guy you're talking about.
Sure,
The
yeah, fair
director
enough.
of Ferris Bueller.
That I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay, let's go with Farhan Akhtar.
Yeah. But basically, he does a bunch of teen movies. I'm looking at his IMDb pages right now, and so he was the director of Uncle Buck. He directed She's Having a Baby, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, Weird Science. I mean, like, these are amazing movies.
Yeah, so while you are looking at movies by the American Farhan Akhtar, I have been watching Shoaib Akhtar's videos. Okay?
Fantastic.
YouTube videos, and they're fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Very entertaining.
I've seen some of those. Yes.
And his rant on China and how he blames them for this disease because they eat bats' urine. I wish my Urdu was good enough because it's hilarious.
Okay.
Really. I mean, just doesn't hold back. And then he gave one thing about how आजकल की बच्चों के पास immunity नहीं है, and he explains why, because they don't have sugarcane juice from the road and all that. In some rustic way. Hey guys, before you laugh, in some rustic way, I think is correct. I think I have a very strong stomach because I still eat road food and all that. But I know lots of people, the next generation, my son's generation onwards, they don't. They're like Westerners. And there's some truth in that. So I enjoy my show. Plus the accents are all over the place, which is the best thing of all.
His accent is amazing.
Fantastic. But he's fun. He's an entertaining guy.
Absolutely. All right. Maybe we should take a break now and then come back after.
Please, let's take a break.
Yeah,
I'm so tired, man. I don't know if I've got the virus. Not to be funny. With April 1st coming just around the corner, I shouldn't make jokes like that. But yeah, I'm feeling a little... I will take a break. Let's take a break.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas, and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.
Welcome back. Those of you who are still with us. Not funny. Silverie, Amit.
Yes.
You know what I meant by that, right? So don't go into it. Don't go into it in detail. So I was in the beginning. I mentioned WhatsApp groups, and I just want to take them on a little bit. I don't understand why you want to have that avatar of the gloom soothsayer or the doom soothsayer, the guy who gives you bad news all the time, because they're enjoying it. They're not actually trying to help you, like a doctor saying you've got cancer. This is the situation. They just have to send you more and more bad news. They're trapped in that that thing, that job description of being the guy who gives you the bad news. And I think everybody has these guys on their chats.
Yes, they do. So I'll tell you about.
Please do.
So what happened to me recently was I did that by mistake. And then I just realized I don't want to be that guy. So when we heard about Floyd Cardoz passing away, right? And so But as soon as I heard that, I passed it on to a couple of people in like a couple of groups, which I know we had all been to Bombay Canteen a bunch of times. We really liked it. Surprisingly, one of the Facebook reminders had come up that morning of a dinner I'd had with 5 friends at Bombay Canteen the year before. And so those people had posted that picture on that group. And so I forwarded that back out. And then I was like, immediately, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the person who's reminding me people of every negative thing. So I went in and deleted it from all 3 groups which I forwarded it to. Because I'm just like, I don't want to pass history on.
You're stuck in this situation. You've got to find a silver lining. Otherwise, just, what's the point?
Yeah.
You can't just go on with negativity.
Okay.
And quickly bring up Viktor Frankl, my favorite. Amit, we've discussed this. Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, where he survived Auschwitz. He spoke of surviving Auschwitz and ordeals like that, unbelievable ordeals like that.
Right.
If you have a great sense of purpose and of meaning in your life, which could just be love for your child, keeping you going, love for your spouse, love for playing the piano, music, art, the job you're doing, just to go back to your home because you love your homeland. But that connection, having that strong connection with something. Sadly, a lot of us in urban parts of the world, the urbane world that it is, have no connection.
Agreed.
Just go do your job, come back, whatever. They haven't got any deep connections with anyone or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but I do believe if you have strong hobbies, strong interest, strong passion, your chances of survival are better. What do you think?
I think that there's truth to that, right? I think that people who are more driven are generally more likely to it might be the characteristics are common, right? If you're the kind of person who gets driven more by stuff, if you're the kind of person who reacts more, or not reacts, but feels stuff more deeply about things, right? Maybe it gives you the kind of characteristics needed to kind of get through stuff like this, right? Because I mean, dude, I've been home for 2 weeks now. I mean, literally 2 weeks. We shut down the office on the 18th of March. And it's the 31st today, right? And so literally tomorrow will be 2 weeks since I've been at home. And, it's annoying, it's frustrating, it's aggravating, but at the same time, it's also like, hey, you know what? We're going to get through this, I mean, there's no...
No, but you're already thinking of the podcast. And hence you put together this podcast. You see, there's that drive to do that much.
Yeah.
But there are people who just shut down and say, F it, and that negativity then takes over.
It does.
You've got to keep it, like for me...
So I was watching...
That I can go in the bathroom and have 5 minutes to myself. That keeps me going. That's my connection. It's very strong.
Yeah.
That's all I want. The rest of my life, actually. 5 minutes a day in the bathroom alone.
Okay.
Alone.
I was watching...
Silverie, you cannot come.
Okay, cool.
Go on.
Okay, cool. I was watching this press conference with Trump, and he was saying, "Okay, now I am just a wartime president because this is basically a war that we're going through, living through, and the enemy is a different kind of enemy. It's an invisible enemy, but it's wartime." What do you guys think of that?
See, I'm caught a little bit here because, I feel a little bit for the leaders of the world right now because it's little beyond their capacity, to handle up to a point. And so they are struggling a little bit sometimes to say the right thing. Trump, you don't expect great things from him anyway. But when he says things like, as you said, it's a war effort, it's just, that's a way of saying. But, and it is in many ways, it is a war. What else is it? We're locked up here. By the way, it should be locked up, not locked down, because we're locked up. I want to correct people. Stop saying locked down. It's lock up, nothing else. But he said something which sounded ridiculous out of context, which is if we can only lose 100,000, 200,000 Americans, we'd have done well. Now, out of context, it sounds ridiculous. But I suppose what he was trying to say is if we can cut our losses to just 200,000, then, out of 320 million or whatever, then, it's not, that's as good as we could do. I mean, that's what he wanted to say. But sadly, it sounded like, like he was triumphant about 200,000.
Yeah, no, I think that's
I'm going to cut him some slack.
So that's one of the problems with him, right? I mean, like, he is not able to articulate what he's saying clearly enough to kind of for it to make sense often. But I think
he isn't me and Silverie.
But I agree with you about sympathy towards governments right now, right? I mean, like, let's look at what happened in India over the last week, right? We talk about, or we look at the people are, a lot of people are giving the government shit about the fact that there was such a migrant labor crisis, right? That all of them started heading back home, and people didn't participate, and all of that. And I get it, right? And I get that this should have been handled better. I'm not trying to excuse the lack of planning over here. So please, that's not what I'm trying to do here. But what I would say is that there's no way that that we have the ability to kind of plan out that is going to be needed. Is difficult to kind of like anticipate that need, right? Especially when the order will stay in place. Right. So,
and also you're talking about 1.3 billion people. I mean,
exactly.
Who would want this job? I want Singapore, 5 billion people disciplined, listening to everything I say. I mean, I want that city. Yeah. Because you can get things done.
Also, think about it like this, right, Cyrus? We saw videos of these issues. We saw videos of these thousands of people gathered, right? This is a market in every city in India every day. Okay?
Exactly.
Every city, every day has a market with this kind of crowd in it. Now, I'm not saying that this excuses that. What I'm saying, though, is we have to have a little amount of tolerance for the fact that it's an impossible job to do right now.
See, I'm still voting Ramdas Athavale because after what he sang, that Go Corona, Go Corona, for me, that is the Corona Go is the most beautiful moment, perhaps since the Beatles, as far as I'm concerned. Secondly, Bapida, his contribution. You guys have heard Bapida's song, which was made on the spot in 7 to 8 seconds. Okay. That kind of improvisation, only the early jazz greats like Duke Ellington and all could do. And so, respect. Guys, can we have a minute respect here, please?
For Bapida? Sure.
Did you listen to that song?
I had not. I didn't even know there was a song like that.
The tireless efforts of the unknown soldiers like Ramdas Athavale and Bapida are not being appreciated. Where is the Padma Shri now? Where's the Padma Vibhushan?
What about Gail
awards been given?
What about
whatever her name is, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah. What about her and all of her friends?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm saying these are the people who should be celebrated. This is what puts a smile on your face and makes you feel happy you're an Indian hiding in your flat. Come on, it makes sense. Right.
Should we talk about a few more good news stories?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so very cool, heartwarming story came out of California. This girl was coming back from her last session of chemotherapy, and just to welcome her back into the neighborhood, into her home, her entire neighborhood gathered down her street in social distancing kind of a parade, where each of them had like 5 to 6 feet of distance. They were sitting in their own cars, but they were cheering her on like a superstar, like a rock star. And you can see like the genuine expression of surprise and just happiness emanating from this girl sitting in her car as she's driving down these people. This is a very heartwarming video, this is.
I wish we would push these stories more, these collective community stories on WhatsApp instead of 43 million will die today, but it will be not recovering till 2022. Olympics won't happen till 20,588. I mean, just go on. I love these stories. Every week since this is over, we must do 1 or 2 good stories. So
absolutely.
Think about.
No, so I was just talking about just a quick add-on, right? So I mean, like there was a story in India as well, right? So there was a woman who got out of, who basically her COVID went dormant, right? And so she went back to her building, and the people in the building again kind of gave her like, applause to come in and like, kind of ovation, which I thought was cool considering how we hear so many stories about people like kind of treating people who are affected with COVID as like untouchable, right?
Yeah, like there was a video about a nurse which had gone viral where she was almost very close to tears saying that I go back home to my building, and because I'm dealing with so many patients every day, the people in my building are now treating me rudely and being rude to my mother. And I just want to say that just because I'm working in this field, please stop harassing my mother. So that was like very sad to see. But then stories like this girl coming back home are what we should be.
Let me also I have a nice story which I saw myself, which is the other day when I was walking the dogs at the cross lane, I saw an old lady crossing the road, and she was really old and bent and frail, and she crossed the road and she didn't even have to lift her hand and say, "Hey, Pacho, chup!" Which she normally does when the cars are traveling past. So it was nice to see that, just to see that. made me feel very happy.
So something close to this story is in UK, an 8-year-old girl was very bummed because she had to stay at home and it was her birthday and she couldn't celebrate her birthday really. So what her street did like all the neighbors in her street, they came out of their windows and sang happy birthday to her in the street. So the entire street is very loudly singing happy birthday without touching her, yeah. And she comes out and she sees everyone singing and she starts crying. This 8-year-old starts crying, just so touched, and it's again just so heartwarming to see these things.
Did you guys do Janta Curfew?
Yeah, we did.
Since you're talking about doing...
Oh, no, I was in Alibag. I missed the whole thing.
Lucky.
But I can clap now.
Well, I think you should. It was actually, it was pretty nice, man. I was fairly impressed with the whole thing, right? I thought it went well. I thought it showed a sense of spirit, right? Again, it's a tough time, and like people do need to kind of come to community, and this was a good way to kind of give that feeling to people.
No, I'm just trying to look at all the good stuff because I'm swamped by the negativity. I don't know about other people, but it really irritates me after some time because I don't see the point of it, Because we have to deal with this situation, but if you might as well, go down with the ship smiling. There's no point going on and on. So I'm all for these stories. Funny ones, silly ones, even Papira singing is great for me. But really, I think we should promote these stories more. Just give a more positive sort of energy to everybody. Rather than, it's coming. The Russians are coming the old days. Corona is coming.
Yeah, that's actually, I think, an awesome place to end the main episode. Antariksh, let's do a couple of AMA questions after this, and let's move on.
Okay.
Yep.
I just quickly, as we end it, I want to put out for next week, because we're still going to be stuck with this situation next week at least. I want to just put out that let's discuss how to deal with birthdays and celebrations. Because we must promote them. People should not celebrate. Obviously, you don't want to go over the top and all that because of the sensitive issue.
I'll tell you what.
People should celebrate their birthdays.
Anybody who's listening right now, right, if you have a birthday coming up next week, send us an email, tweet us, whatever, and we'll wish you on the show.
And we'll celebrate your birthday for you.
Yes, we will. All right, so let's...
get on with the AMAs because we sound like I think an airline announcement trio now.
Okay.
That's exactly what it sounds to me. I mean, from an audio point of view.
Cool. All right. Okay.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills, from health to relationships, from mental well-being to emotional well-being, and of course your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Cool. Yeah, I think we just about have time for the AMAs. That's really funny considering we have nothing to do before or after. I'm training my son. My son is working out with the little weights that we have. So I have that to do. But what else can you do? You got to kill time, mate. Come on.
Oh man,
That's true.
I'm so sorry. I did not know how old your son was. When you say I'm training my son, I thought you were going to say potty training your son right now. I'm like, okay, that's...
that didn't go... Those lessons didn't go down well, Silverie. So for another day.
Okay. Getting to the first AMA.
Yes.
Sent in by Charu Joshi. Yeah. He says, I am Charu Joshi from Jodhpur, Rajasthan. A very big fan of Cyrus's podcast. My question for Cyrus is, what other name would you suggest for coronavirus if you could rename it?
Well, there's a gentleman I completely find disgusting called Rupinder. So I would call it Rupinder. I think you should take any people you don't like, whoever you don't like from your life or your surroundings, name the virus after that person. Because, might as well put all the malice and hatred into one area. I'm very angry with this virus. Because for me, the three pillars of my life have been taken away from me, and so my life has no meaning. I can't take my dog to the Oval. I can't work out in the morning anywhere. I manage at home, whatever little. And most important of all, I don't have live sport. Without live sport, my life is meaningless because that's all I invest in. for non-religious people and all, this is our spirituality. The connect is with sport. I've failed and I've had girls who left me, I've had deaths in family, but life sport kept me going, some cricket, some football, some tennis, some boxing, something. There's nothing. Even MMA, which fought on till March 22nd or something, has stopped. We got nothing. Yeah. Except these two guys who play carom in the opposite building, which I looked from my window from a certain angle. I can see one hand hitting the carom board. That's it.
Have you considered esports?
Yeah, but I don't get that thrill, bro. I don't know. It's like the guys who smoked and then they go to the e-cigarettes or whatever you call them. I mean, they were just fooling themselves. It didn't work. Yeah. Anyway, A&E.
Go. What's the
next question?
Okay. Next one is sent in by Rit Badhan. He says, "Hi, Cyrus and team. Cyrus, do you ever think that as the podcast industry is growing, one day you will lose your job to Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, as it happened with Pepsi? Does this thought keep you awake at night? Because it keeps me awake at night."
Au contraire. I think all these great superstars are very interesting personalities, but I don't think they'll enjoy talking to people because talking to people over a long period of time, and of course he loves his internet, you know that. He's on all kinds of mediums. I don't know if that's his thing, Most of these actors are introverts. So this is not a medium for them. The tweeting and all, yes, because the introvert can come out completely. So I think personally, that's not his thing. I wouldn't say it would be his thing to chat with people non-stop for hours at a time. I don't see that happening. I think we're okay for now.
I would agree with you, right? I mean, I think that even if you get, even if there is a major Bollywood actor who wants to do podcast or a major Bollywood creator who wants
a Ranveer Singh. Ranveer Singh would be good at this, I would presume. I don't know him well enough. Shah Rukh would be good at this. Yes. But most of them are not. Most of them are more shy and, they're not really people.
Right.
They're good at what they do or they're popular, but they're not necessarily. I think for this kind of medium, you've got to I have to like talking.
You have to like talking,
guy who all my life, people leave because I go on talking. You see, so I'm the other extreme. Kunal always points out when we're at an airport or something that somebody comes and says hello or recognizes you. The guy leaves because I'm going on talking. He can't bear it up or something. He's like made a mistake. So in that sense, I think I'm okay. I got the weapons. But the problem is we can't work, guys, because you're damn Rupinder. We can't work. Yeah. I hate working, okay? Honestly, it's such a bore when you think about it. But now I'll do anything to do anything. I'm like, whatever job there is, just go do it.
Exactly.
We've really taken life for granted, haven't we?
We very much have, right? I think that's clear more than anything else, right? This idea that we can't, when are we going to have mass public gatherings again, right? I don't know when that's going to be. That's not going to be in a month. That's not going to be in 15 days, right? The idea of going out for a concert or going into a movie or going to...
Yeah. Amit, the idea of going for a walk.
That, I think,
I don't walk, but I'm talking about general people.
Yeah. No, but I think that comes back. I think that comes back relatively soon, right? But a mass gathering, right? A wedding. Are you going to go for a 2,000-person wedding again in the next 3, 4 months, 5 months? I don't think I am.
I don't think they'll have it. Nobody's going to have it for some time.
Yeah.
I can't give a figure, but I wish it happened when I was getting married. I would have saved so much money, man. Yeah, I'm coming. All right, now guys, I need to go and work out with my son. So,
okay.
A quick word about how we're going forward.
So what I think what we'll do is, so this is my thought at least, right? We'll continue we'll do a couple of cock and bulls every week. We'll try and keep it regular. We'll try and make sure that we do some stuff as often as possible. We might not hit our exact release schedules. We might be a little up, a little down, but we'll make sure that we keep people entertained for the next.
And let's put it out there, open invitation to people to join us on Cock and Bull.
Sure.
And as long as you have the tech facility and the time suits you, then maybe we can do that because beggars can't be choosers, and I think anybody is gold right now for us.
Yep. No, we'll definitely get more people on, right? I wanted to do this just us because I wanted to try this out a little bit. Since we're doing this remotely for the first time. Also, there are technical challenges that exist over here. There are also, we're not seeing each other, right? So we have no non-visual communication with each other, not verbal communication.
But that's the plus part, yeah.
Well, it's a plus part, but it also doesn't let you, it also slows down our reactions to each other a little bit.
Let me tell you, neither of you is Pamela Anderson, and I ain't going to waste my time with Amit and Silverie. Thank you very much.
Fair point.
All right, listen guys, I'm going to run, but we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Yes, see you guys. Miss you guys. See you guys.
And now, Silverie, now when we say this as anchors, we actually mean it. Same place, same time, because we can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In, or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Hey everybody, we have a brand new podcast series by Bloomberg Quint called BQ Conversations, which covers a range of topics like business strategies, latest trends in technology such as cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, and also personal finance. Episodes are out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Family businesses get a bad rap. At one time, they were looked down on for getting rich, for being too ambitious. Today, they're still looked down on, but for not being ambitious enough. Not agile enough, not modern enough, too traditional in their mindset. The biggest brands and business houses in the country started out as humble family businesses. It's the way India has done business. Join Sonu Bhasin in conversation with stalwarts of Indian family businesses on the Inheritors podcast series by Bloomberg Quint. Discuss the highs and lows, the needs and pressure points of building a business legacy that spans generations.